Hello there. Are you in university, school, college, any sort of education? Do you need some tips to survive this thing called school, aka hell? No worries, because I am here to help you survive this year. Number one thing that you need is a planner. A planner has saved my life many times before. Okay, the thing is, when you first get your syllabus, you take that syllabus of yours and take every single due date that's written on there and you transfer that into your planner. You should always keep track of what you have to do because it's very easy to get behind on things, right? So you always need a planner. It's there to remind you that, hey, you've got this math test coming up or you've got this English essay to do. If you're in university or any kind of educational institution where you're required to buy your own books could get pretty expensive and you wonder, what's in there that's making them so expensive? Is there any way that I could get books for cheaper? Yes, you can. Don't always buy the new edition books unless you're required to, or if it's the first edition and you have to buy this one, absolutely. You could always find used books. There's used bookstores. Make sure to look around you for used bookstores. There might even be a used book group on Facebook or something like that. And if you can't find any of these sources, there's this website called slugbooks.com and you just type in the ISBN or the book name or the author and they'll find this book for you. You could rent it, you could buy it, and you could buy the book, and it's very cheap. And I've tried it before, my friends have tried it before, and it's awesome. It saves you a lot of money. We all know when you're in college or university, you could be pretty broke. Highlighting. Now, if you're studying and taking notes, always highlight the things that are important because when you come back and review things at the end of the year, you can't just read every single word of the book. You could just read the highlighted things or what you think is important in the book, in the paragraph. Always highlight that and always keep in mind that you should take notes as well. My other tip is study all along. It's very easy to fall back and get behind on things. For example, if the professor talked about a specific story or a specific chapter today, then go back home and make sure you study for that chapter before it gets accumulated. And that's gonna be too much for you to handle, too much for you to catch on. Study groups. Now, I did not know that existed in my university. I think I'm kind of late on things, but there's always study groups for you. And if you, for example, needed help in math or something, there's a study group just for math. So always get into study groups. Don't get caught in socializing while you're studying. Always use that time for you to study, to get help, to understand things that you don't understand. You know, always ask questions. So always find study groups. Always look for those and join one. Don't be afraid. Everybody, don't think, oh, I'm too stupid to join this study group. No, everybody in there is for a reason, to understand things, to get more information, more explanations. So don't be afraid and join. And that brings me to my next point, which is using all the resources on campus. For example, if you are struggling with writing essays, there might be a writing help for you at the library or anything like that. If you can't find the library, you could ask a professor, he might recommend you to somebody. You could ask a teacher, you could ask a friend. Maybe somebody's more experienced than you in writing essays, you never know it. Or things are just not going the way you want. There's always counseling, just go and get help. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. It's there for a reason, right? And also, if you're confused about something like how do you apply for student loans, or for example, like where do I park my car, or anything, or about the residency, always ask information center. There's always places where you could get help and ask questions, but it's you that's afraid to find them or you that's afraid to approach them. So never be afraid to find resources and use them. They're there for you. Otherwise, why would they exist, right? Get involved. You know, university, you should have fun. You should find out what your interests are. Sometimes you don't even know what you're into unless you try it. I'm pretty sure on the first week of school, there'll be a lot of clubs that is just handing you invitations to join their clubs. You know what? Explore your options. Put those invitations or something and read them one by one and see something that interests you. Get involved. That's a way to make friends, by the way. You might be into soccer. You might find a soccer club. You might not be into sports. You might be into music and you find a music club. There's always a club for you to join. And if there is none, guess what? I'm pretty sure you could create one. So always find out how you could do that. And also, if there's no invitations or anything like that, always use the website, ask around. There's always a way to find things out, so just use it. Cleaning up. I don't necessarily mean cleaning up your house because That should be a mandatory. You should do that. Who wants to live in a dirty place? Anyway, back to my point. Go through your notes every month and clean up. There might be some paper that you just doodle on it and you're like, why is it there? Always make sure to clean up at the end of the month and sort things out so you keep things in place. Get a binder. I think for every subject you should get a file and put them all together in a binder. For every subject, whatever notes you take, just put them in that file, so for you to keep track of things, everything does not get mixed up and messy together, because that happens quite a lot. I'm guilty of that, but this year I decided to be organized and I bought myself files. There's files for 50 cents. It's not really that big of an investment, so you can find pretty cheap ones and get all your notes inside them. If you have math class, put your notes of math in a file. For English, put them in a file, and so on. You get the drill. So make sure to stay organized, because it's very easy to get mixed up and messy. You don't want that, not a pretty thing. My last point is make friends and have fun. You think that this person is too cool for me, I can't be friends. No, talk to that person, say hi, just approach them. We're humans, we're not aliens, and you know what, if that person don't want to be friends with you, that's cool. Move on to other person, don't get discouraged. Always have fun. You never know, sometimes a person who looks uninviting might be the most nicest person ever. Don't judge the book by its cover, right? You'll be surprised when you know that not only you that's confused about what they're doing in university, what's their major, everything will eventually fall back to a place. You'll eventually find out what you want to do in university and in life and as a career. So don't worry, I'm in university and I went as an English major, but I was very iffy about it. I did not know if I want to do English major for sure. Did I want to go to education? Did I want to stay in English? I did not for sure know. There are many people who don't have their things figured out, so it's not only you. And if you perhaps really need help, academic advisors that you could talk to, and they could help you answer some questions that you have or concerns. So always ask them, always call them, give them a call, set up an appointment. And that is it for today's video. I hope you learned something and found these tips helpful. Maybe, who knows, I found those tips helpful. If you have any ideas, any suggestions, write them in the comment section below. It's a magical place. Everybody could communicate. If you have a great tip for me or for other people, write it down in the comment section below. And don't forget to thumbs up this video. Give me awesome thumbs of yours. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, I'll see you. Bye!